Ready?
Welcome to
Overbooked and Opinionated, your favorite best friend book club podcast.
With Liz.
and Pooh.
And Gammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Friendly reminder.
Oh my goodness. All right. Just a quick reminder before we start. We are rated R. We are not for the faint of heart or the young of ear. I don't even know what I just said. Not the children. Just be mindful of who's listening with you. We are adults who say adult things about adult books. We will be talking about sexy time and we will use coarse language because we are coarse people. You've been warned.
Can I do it now?
Yeah, you can do it now.
Fuck.
Dude, we earning that explicit tag. Here we go.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. Guys, what the fuck are we doing today?
Bitches be yapping.
It's a yappathon, babe. It's a yappathon.
Pooh, tell the people what we yapping about.
Today we're going to yap about Butcher and Blackbird.
Woohoo! Butcher and Blackbird. Butcher and Blackbird.
By Brynne Weaver.
Yeah, we love you, Brynne. You crazy bitch.
You crazy bitch.
So, well, guys, I think if we're going to talk about Butcher and Blackbird, we have to talk about these trigger warnings.
These are wild.
It is trigger warning time. This book is definitely rated R. This is a really dark romance. Really dark romance with some horror themes, which I think is why I loved it so much.
But it's somehow still a comedy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call it dark romance.
No. Really?
It's got
I don't
really
think I
mature
would.
themes
I
and
think
it's got
I
some
would call
shit.
it maybe it's more of like a thriller rom-com. I don't
Wow.
think I would specify it as dark romance.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I'm just wrong. So,
Depends on your definition of dark.
correct. The book does come with its own set of trigger warnings and content warnings. I'm going to just read about two of my favorites. There is cannibalism in this book, and she makes a point to mention not so accidental cannibalism, as well as accidental cannibalism. Guys, what the fuck? She also apologizes for cookies and cream ice cream. And those are my two favorites, guys.
You know, I had actually managed to forget about that specific part of the book until we recapped this book for recording this episode. Now I'm not going to be able to eat it for another 6 months. Thank you, Brynne Weaver. Thank you for ruining cookies and cream ice cream.
I didn't really eat it in the first place.
Lucky bitch.
So let's get into our spoiler-free review of this book. This book does definitely have some mature themes, like we've already mentioned. We follow our female main character and a male main character.
Yeah,
We get
dual perspective.
Dual POVs throughout the book, which is really, really interesting. Quick note, I listened to this book on audio. So I was blessed with a thick Irish accent throughout each of the male main characters' POVs. And oh my God, it was amazing.
I'm really glad you said Irish accent after the word thick there. I was a little concerned.
Thick.
Okay. So Gammy, tell us, what did you rate this book? Because you were the one who got us to read this one.
Yep, this was a Gammy recommends. I brought you all along for the journey, and I am not sorry. I was gonna apologize, but no, because it was incredible. I listened to this book, and I listened to my audiobooks on 2x speed. I slowed it down for this one, guys. I listened to this at normal speed because the accent was so good. The narration was incredible. This book got a 5-star rating for
Holy
me,
shit.
okay? And I think the audio version really took it over the top for me. I think the audio version is why this book got a 5 stars.
That's it. We're just getting your star rating.
What else you want to know, babe?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this book. The comedy in it, like the not taking themselves so seriously thing during like very serious themes, that is my shit. That is my humor wrapped up. You guys also know that I love horror books, and this had a lot of horror themes in it, which I loved. I thought it was so good. I loved the romance. It was so cute. It had a lot of like some of our favorite tropes in it. friends to lovers. It had touch him or her and you die, and then it was just so good. Definitely gave Black Cat and Golden Retriever energy. It was perfect, guys. Like their romance was perfect to me. Her relationship with her best friend was perfect for me. The even like the cringiest parts, it was just so good. And you know what? I'm gonna take it there. This book really explored some like challenging world views, which is a little like, okay, Amanda, shut up. But like it's very interesting because we saw these people that weren't all good, but they really weren't bad either. They did some questionable things, highly questionable things, but they were like doing it for reasons that they felt were good. And so it really made it like, oh, these characters are three-dimensional. Like they are interesting and very complex characters, and I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
All right. You want to go next?
It don't matter.
Do it, Pooh. Do it.
I gave this book 4 stars. I loved most of the book. The thing that it's been a while, but the thing I remember the most, feeling like she could have done more with was the end with David. There was no shock factor to that for me. I almost immediately, like, as soon as Sloane was like, we're going to take him home, we'll take care of him, I was like, that's...
So there's a spoiler.
Just a tiny one. Just a tiny
I mean, if you're, watching this and you haven't read it, that's on you. But, it was a great start because now obviously I've read the second one, but I liked the brothers. Like I liked all of the relationships outside of even just them two.
Yeah.
I liked Sloane and Lark. I even kind of wish like there was more of them too in the first book.
She's so selfish. She gets a whole second book.
Yeah.
No, but their relationship together.
Them two together.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like in the second book she brought it, she gave the two of them enough attention.
Okay.
You get a couple texts between them, but you don't see their friendship. It's about their romance.
And I love the brothers. I
Yeah.
love them, the three of them, and like their different personalities and
Mhm.
how well they went together. Yeah.
Solid.
Liz?
So I gave this a 3.5 star. Listen, that's high for me for a romance. First of all, I'm not a pure romance reader. Like they're not books I gravitate towards. The vast majority of romances that I've read have been because of this book club, and these two, oh my god, Gammy! Let me cook!
Let her cook.
I really enjoyed this, and I enjoyed this far more than the average romance. I loved their relationship. I loved the best friend into lovers trope. It felt very natural, their relationship, and I really liked I don't think it's a spoiler to say they're serial killers. It's on the back of the book.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're like the fact that they're both serial killers was really fun. Like, it was a really weird but really interesting thing for protagonists of a book to be. And like, I'm a big fan of Dexter. I loved that TV show, but like this took it in a whole weird wacky angle. Like, I don't know how a book about a romance between serial killers was a rom-com, but it was, and it was amazing. I was disgusted and like, oh, at the same time, like,
and like, god damn, it was so hot.
ooh, the smut, man, the smut.
Ugh. There were so many emotions.
There was a lot of emotions in this book.
Put us through it.
Yeah, her Instagram is sending me. Like, if you guys don't follow Brynne Weaver on Instagram, you guys need to, because she just posts pictures of herself as the devil, and it's accurate.
And she actually is.
Yeah,
like, it's legitimate.
And this is like in the best way. We're obsessed with her. But no, it was really fun. It was really great. I, of course, like, I had a few issues with it, but like they're really minor. Overall, I really, really enjoyed this story. Yeah. So, Gammy's doing the quick math.
All right, guys. So we have an average star rating of my recommended book, Butcher and Blackbird, of a 4.2. A 4.2 for overall rating. I think that's pretty good for the three of us. Like, that's pretty good.
That seems very high.
I know. And I know it's my fault, but also I had the privilege of listening to it. Guys, even if you read it and like read it physically, you should listen to it too. Because it's a completely different fucking experience. Okay. It's amazing.
I feel like I need to go download the audiobook.
Yeah, you should. Go take a bath. Yeah.
Yo.
Well, that was the end of our spoiler-free review. If you have not read this book yet, guys, now is the time. It's time to leave us. I'm sorry, babe. It's okay. We still love you. Come back once you finish it.
It's a cool thing about podcasts. We'll be here when you've read it.
Just pause it.
Yeah.
You're good. We won't take offense. Come back when you're done, though, bitch, because we got to talk. Okay? Get your ass back here. You heard? Last
Alrighty.
warning. Last fucking warning. Guys.
Brynne Weaver, we have to talk about the ice cream.
Brynne!
We have to talk about the ice cream. I'm not okay.
Why was there so much crazy shit in this book?
I'm looking at you. You ruined cookies and cream ice cream for me, and I'm still not okay about it.
I don't even think it was the cookies and cream ice cream. Like, I'm down.
Stop bothering
I'm
me.
down with some sperm, dude. Like, I'm down.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I'm down with the sperm. Okay.
Yeah,
Orzo pasta, bitch. You're gonna ruin Orzo for me? Really? Oh my god. Really? Orzo pasta?
And it was like the first fucking sentence.
So, guys, if you're here, you've read the book, right? Sloane is a badass, okay? And she gets trapped in a cage. And dude, the way she's describing these orzo pastas, this poor girl is starving. She's been trapped in this cage for 3 fucking days with no food or drink and a dead body. Okay, and she's like, "Oh, pasta! It's maggots!"
You know what I thought of,
Maggots!
though? I don't know who here has seen it. The fucking Lost Boys. When they take him and they get the Chinese food and he looks down and it's turned into fucking worms.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
No
That's
idea
what
what
I,
you're
and I
talking
think
about.
that's why it didn't disturb me, because I have physically seen adaptations of something like that happening. So, like, I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No,
I'm
dude.
really scared.
I can't. Nope. The orzo got me so much more than the sperm ice cream. Don't care.
I already didn't eat orzo pasta because I already thought it looked like
Oh,
maggots.
So
Thanks.
did you guys love this book or hate this book? For me, obviously, it's a love.
Yeah.
Or are you guys like somewhere in the middle? You're a love. Thank you.
I did love it. I really did.
I wouldn't recommend
It's
this
a soft love
to
but a
anyone.
love.
Like, I would not. Well, I did recommend it to these 2 bitches, but because they know me, and this is the exact type of thing that they would expect me to recommend to them. But I wouldn't be like, if someone came up to me off the street and was like, "Oh man, did you read? Like, recommend a book to me?" It would not fucking be this book, Brynne. Why would you do this? Oh my god, I think you guys would love this book, though. Honestly, if you're listening to this podcast, you would probably enjoy the book.
It's a really, really well written book. Like, it's very engaging. The characters feel very real. I feel like we should actually go through our call piles.
Yeah,
and stuff.
let's do it. Let's start with the
Yeah.
characters. Liz, do you want to start?
Sure. So let's talk about Sloane first of all, because I think the 3 of us can agree we're probably more connected to her than we are to Rowan. But Sloane is so fucking cool. Like, I don't know why the idea of a serial killer who's got the soul of an artist speaks to me.
Like,
I think I need to evaluate something about myself
What?
that I connected with that so much, but it was really interesting. And I loved watching her friendship with Rowan develop and her maybe being a little hesitant at like getting into the relationship. Like, it felt very natural. It felt the way that real relationships progress. And it felt the way that, like, almost similar to the way my relationship progressed. Like, I was best friends with my partner for years before we ever started dating. And I always had to like, he's hot, but I don't know. And, you know, when it happened, it's great. So, like, that was very relatable to me in a great way. I thought she was really, really cool.
Yeah, I think so. The only thing that really got me, I get like the orb weaver thing. So her name, like in the serial killer community, is the orb weaver. And when he calls her Blackbird, that just makes so much more sense to me. Like, I love Blackbird. I think it's really sweet though that that's just something that they share. So I like the orb weaver. I'll stick with it. But Blackbird, bro, that's perfect. It's beautiful. I love Sloane. Sloane is murdering people who have done horrific things to other people, like child molesters and like other murderers. I fucking love that. Yes, bitch, get that justice. I loved Sloane's character. I loved how reserved she was with Rowan, and I loved her relationship with her best friend and like the things that she tried to like shelter her from. And when you read the second book, you're like, oh God, like wow. So Sloane was just incredible. The friendships were incredible. Rowan, though, we have to spend some time on that lovely Irish man. Oh, baby, Jesus Christ. I can't, like, his voice, whoever narrated that book seriously deserves like a raise, because I was just like, shit, I was blown away. He's very like golden retriever who also murders, which is crazy, because like when you picture golden retriever, you're not thinking of like this big broody like masculine man who's literally out there taking lives. That was incredible. When he like opened up to Sloane and told her that he killed his father because of like the abuse and everything, oh my God, I got like chills. I was like, wow. So he's also just like this complex character who's doing everything for his brothers, which was like, oh my God, stop. I can't. I loved him so much.
Yeah. He combined a lot of things that like I already liked, you know, like morally gray, and then like the golden retriever, but then like the protector, and yeah, he was like, you know, he was really complex as far as like male characters go.
So before, like, I don't want to talk about the next book, the second book, that they're all out, actually. All three of them are out. Yes. I don't want to talk about them, but who was your favorite brother? Just from this book, Butcher and Blackbird, who was your favorite brother?
That's a hard question. I feel like you don't get a lot of information about the brothers, but just based on vibes, Lachlan.
I'm going Rowan. Even after, I know I said don't think about it, but like even after knowing what I know in the second book, I'm still going Rowan.
Interesting.
Yeah. What about you, Pooh?
The first one was I know I'm going to say his name wrong, Fionn. The younger.
I have no idea how to say
just
it.
Just that little clip of him and Rose, I was like, oh, that's it. That's my guy right there. But I think like after reading the second one, I've changed my guy, but I haven't read the third one yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But for me, Rowan was never the first.
Can I just say that, like, you need best friends who all have different tastes in men? The way that we each just said a different brother, this is how you stay friends, guys. This is how you stay friends.
We'd never go for each other's man.
No. We love them all.
Yeah, we do. They're great. But they're all very different.
They're very different people, but I think that's part of what makes our book club so interesting, too.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get into like the atmosphere and the setting.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was crazy, but it was also still funny. I'm just going to keep talking about Rowan. Go ahead. Someone talk.
You know, I think I went Pooh when she said, despite this literally being a serial killer romance that centers around a game where they take turns, like, not even take turns, where they fight over killing a guy, I don't think this was dark at all. Like, I did not get dark energy from this book at all.
What a
take.
take.
I think it depends what you read. Like, I read, you know, dark romance. I've read some pretty sick shit.
You're telling us.
So, like, I haven't read a book,
still
like,
traumatized.
I don't even, you know, like, I shouldn't even talk about it. It's not even appropriate. And it, you know, like, it's nothing. I don't know. I think things like it also depends your level. Like, for me, I don't think murder's as bad as other things that I've read. I don't. There's other things that trigger me more than murder that I'm just like, oh, okay.
Was the cannibalism like a lot for you? No, you didn't care?
It didn't really bother me.
What bothers
I've
you more?
Serial killer documentaries my whole life.
You're a true crime girl.
It didn't bother me. It's just, you know.
What bothers you more, the accidental cannibalism or the non-accidental?
I think the accidental. You know,
I'm the opposite.
I think if it's cut and dry and you know you're going to eat people, you're a bad person.
That's
You're
fair.
a bad person. Whatever. You know, like it's whatever. Or maybe you're not. I don't know. I don't want to.
She's like, I'm not judging you, cannibals.
You're not killing the person.
Don't judging you. I am judging the cannibals. I don't feel like that's a controversial thing to say.
No, wait, don't cancel me.
Don't cancel me. I think cannibalism is wrong, guys. Sorry.
I think it's wrong, but you know, like it's not.
other thing.
No, it's not as bad if the person's already dead. It's bad if you murder them.
Oh my
You
god,
take
she's
dead
read.
bodies that are
I'm
already
guessing
dead.
it now. She's read Silence of the Lambs fanfic. Like she's in there with Hannibal
Big
Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter fan.
But no, I think the unintentional bothers me more because it's like the idea of like I don't know. I don't feel like me myself. I would never.
Do
I
you
couldn't
guys-
imagine this how sick I would feel after. Like I would never get that feeling away out.
Do you guys remember when the guy who Rowan was like working for, when he made that guy like eat his own flesh? Do you guys remember that?
The guy that Rowan was working for. When he made Rowan eat?
Yes. Yeah, when David
When he made Rowan eat his
that
own
triggered
flesh.
the shit out of me. I'm sorry, that bothered me. It's one thing to eat other people's to eat. Your
I'm
own.
upset.
That fucking
To
killed
eat
me.
your own is
That
just like
actually had me squirming. No, actually, I was not as bothered by like the
I think
cannibal
that
part
triggered me more than anything else. in the book.
until they made Rowan eat his own flesh. I was
And then
like,
he's like, it's gamey. I'm like, oh, don't
Oh,
describe it.
what the fuck, Brynne? Why did you do that? That was so disgusting.
Oh my god. But you know what? I feel like for most of the book, I was like, I joke about it being like, I read most of this book and I was like, this is awful. But I kept reading it. When I got to there, I was like,
That was the only part that I really felt.
I don't know if I like that. Like, it was uncomfortable. Like,
That was
but I think that's
disgusting.
kind of the point, right?
yeah.
She was like,
horrible.
what else can I throw at these readers? Like, fuck you.
So I think that's a great segue into her writing style.
Yeah.
Like her writing style is so disturbed, but she makes fantastic characters. She makes characters that you fall in love with who are like the actual definition of morally gray. It doesn't get any more fucking morally gray than that. She makes these amazing characters.
disagree.
Really?
So look, I know they're killers. But this, and we're going to talk about this when we get to logic too. I feel like you need to suspend some like reality for this book to work. Like, there are not that many serial killers running around. Like, this is not
That
real.
we know of. That we know of.
They were like that.
There
are this
actually is.
prolific.
I forget the statistic.
That are
you walk
this-
by like 3 and you're like,
Yes,
oh,
but
prolific. Like, okay.
prolific that are this prolific that kill this many people. Like it doesn't happen on this scale in real life. I'm not saying that it can't. People are sick and awful and horrible.
Calm
and all
down,
these
people.
things.
Calm down.
But you have to suspend some reality for this to work. At least for me, I did. So like the fact that they're serial killers like was never like, oh my god, they're killers to me. Because they're also this version of a serial killer that is perfectly mentally stable. And they're the kind of serial killer.
You thought they were mentally stable?
Yes, because this whole time
You
they're
thought they were
only
mentally
killing
stable?
the
I
bad
don't
guys.
disagree.
What?
I don't disagree. They to me had no mental trigger warnings.
No,
They're like
moral
think
warriors.
Gore, yeah, like you could get through gore, and that says something about you.
yeah.
But I mean, mentally, like you're not checked out. You never disassociated. You were there the whole time. You knew what you were doing.
Okay.
You
but
consented to everything you did. You
They-
never
no,
once.
hold on,
Yeah.
because Rowan was listening to her masturbate, and that was like really fucked up. That was like
Okay, what guy
really
wouldn't?
pervy. Okay, but it's still pervy.
Yeah.
And then he's like looking into her room. That's how he found the guy staring in through the thing. He was doing that.
I
And
don't
I still
know.
love
Maybe it's because it's been a while, but the way I read that, it seemed like I don't know. It didn't.
Oh, bitch.
It didn't.
no.
No, it didn't bother me because it seemed like Sloane did that on purpose, like it was a trap. Sloane made it sound like she
What a
knew who
take.
he was.
I gotta be honest. I don't remember the specifics enough to chime in on that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I did the way I remember it. I feel like she knew it was him. She suspected, so she did it to trap him.
Actually, I vaguely remember
And
that too.
he absolutely. You should not fuck off.
Don't watch people
Well, it
masturbate.
doesn't matter what she does. You know,
Unless they're okay with it.
Yes, it's consensual.
so he was wrong. But as far as I don't know. She was putting on the show, or at least that's the way I was presented to me. Like she did it to trap the guy that they were hunting down.
I actually remember that vaguely, but I don't remember enough specifics. I have to reread this book, man. No, I feel you. Yeah, I got I need that Irish accent in my ear. But no, I feel like this whole time they're serial killers, but they are killing the scum of the earth. They're killing child molesters and rapists and like cannibals who kill people for sport and then harvest the fresh meat and eat it to the person who died. Like, it's fucking, they're not killing people to kill people or like for any sort of sexual motive, which is like 99.9% of the reasons why most serial killers kill. Like, there's always something sexual to it. Like, they're killing people because they're bad people.
So are you talking about the logic or the writing style? Like, where does this fall?
I don't even know anymore.
So, like,
We lose
the
track.
writing
We kind of
style,
follow them a little
I
bit.
know. I think her writing style is unique, and I think it's really fucking fun to have a book this disturbing, also be hot, like to also be sexy.
Oh my God.
What? To be disturbing, sexy, and hilarious, and also just make you love these characters and feel fondly for these characters. Like, that is a talent. That is talent, right?
Yeah, her writing style.
Yeah, I enjoyed her writing overall.
It was
I
good.
wouldn't say it was like earth shattering or like anything. Nothing about it stood out to me other than I enjoyed it.
Well, I think it does stand out because when
For
have you
me.
ever read, like, I'm an avid horror reader, right? So, like, I explore these like cannibalistic themes and a lot of the stuff that she did, but to make a book not be so heavy, because a lot of horror books can get like pretty heavy with stuff like that. So to make it not heavy, funny, and still be fucking sexy, that is
But I think that's
talented.
where the divide is. Because you thought of that as a horror book. I never once thought of that as horror. That was romance from the beginning.
Yeah.
And
There
to me,
were
as far as romance,
elements.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a
Yeah.
horror book. That's what I'm
But,
saying, though.
yeah.
She can dabble in all of these different genres, right? Like, a lot of people would consider that dark romance. A lot of people would consider that dark romance, especially like with the sex that they have, their background, and I think the piercings alone, like, and the special attention to the piercings, right? Like, I feel like that really makes it heavy dark romance.
I think
I don't know. I don't
I
think
think
it
we
was
have
a
very
dark
different
romance.
definitions of dark romance than you do.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I thought it was like a triggering rom-com. I never
I'm
gave it dark romance.
I'm not labeling it just one thing. I'm saying that she dabbles in all of these different genres and puts them together into something that makes you feel a lot of emotions all at once throughout the book, which is really talented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's exploring a bunch of different genres. This isn't one that you can just place into a thing. It's not a rom-com. It's not a horror. It's not a dark fantasy. It's not a romance. Like, it just explores all of these different genres that I personally enjoy, that I thought was great. And you really can't pinpoint it down to one. Like, I'm not saying that this was the best dark romance, like, because it's not, right?
See,
You
I
can't
don't know. I would
tie it down.
point it down to just romance.
No!
I understand what you're saying, all the things she mentioned, but the focal point of the book
You're
was
shaking your
always-
head. You're agreeing with her.
Because the
I do.
focal
It's not
point
a romance.
Oh my God, it's a rom-com.
was
What's wrong
always
with
their
it?
relationship. The whole point of the book was always their relationship.
Yeah.
So regardless of what she dabbled in, you know, and any dark romance, you cross boundaries. That's why they're dark.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes them dark. That's why they're not
You
for
bitches are
everybody.
insane. You
But
bitches are insane.
I think it was a romance.
Yeah. So hear me out, Gamey.
No.
When you say and the episode's over. So when you say dark romance, I feel like the way you define it has a lot more to do with character. I think from the way that Pooh and I are both talking, and I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds like you and I both define dark romance more by the setting and the
Yeah.
overall feeling that the book gives you.
That's fair.
So when I think dark romance, I think of like the world is over, it's the apocalypse, and only the survivors can live, or like shit like that. You know what I mean? Like the world is dark, and like the shit they're dealing with, the themes are dark. I don't feel like there's a lot of dark themes in this, despite it literally being about serial killers. And I think you bringing up emotions actually got me thinking. I think part of why I didn't like fall as in love with this as you did is the whole time I was like laughing and I was amused and I thought it was charming. I didn't like fall in love with any specific aspect. I didn't feel like devastated. I didn't get a book hangover from this because I wasn't like, I was okay with the story being over when it ended. Does that make sense?
That's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
It I didn't get the full range of emotions. I got a lot of really, really strong enjoyment and joy and like comedy out of this, and definitely some moments of disgust. And some moments where I was like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I never thought that like the romance in a serial killer romance would be like some of the sweetest little date montages I've ever heard. Like the cooking thing that you talked about earlier off camera. So sweet. So sweet. I loved that trope.
For
But, like,
reference, she's talking about Rowan sending a child to drop off groceries at Sloane's house, and then them having cooking dates over the phone. Where
That's
he's
I think to me though, even the way you describe dark romance for me is even slightly different.
what do you mean?
But I read a lot of dark romance. That's my genre. That's where I'm at.
So, like, tell us
So,
what your definition
think,
of dark
like,
romance is.
For me, dark romance is like the themes. I agree, absolutely the themes. But like what you just said, like with him doing that, that's charming.
Yeah.
I still think that can happen in a dark romance.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't like, you know what I mean? I think I didn't think of this as dark romance because I didn't think of the characters as bad people, if that makes sense. You know,
Interesting.
and I don't want to say bad people because I love all my characters in my dark romance books, but they cross boundaries. You know, there's one point where, you know, whether it be a queer or a straight romance, he did to her, she did to him, or you know, whatever. There's always some point, I think, in a dark romance where you have to kind of, I feel like you have to hate your main character a little bit.
Can I change my answer?
And
and go with two?
I never hated any of them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of dark romances I've read that, like, there's at some point I've either hated her or him because of something they did.
Some shit's fucked up.
That's fair. That's fair.
But that makes
I will
sex
take
hotter.
that. I will take that.
Yeah, the sex is really good in that.
I will take that.
I honestly, like I totally agree with you. I definitely, off the dome, said some shit about setting. And I think that is definitely part of it, the themes, but I think you're right. Like, I think for dark romance to be dark romance, it's got to be some boundary crossing.
Very much, like, I think
Protagonists.
dependent on the characters.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, I think the setting could be almost not important
Interesting.
because you can write, you know, I've read dark romances that were office settings, that were school settings,
Yeah.
that were all these different taboo things, you know, nanny and all that stuff. And none of them are inherently, you know, dark at first,
Yeah.
especially ones that don't, you know, just regular relationships that don't cross boundaries.
Mhm.
But it's the characters and their actions that make it dark.
Yeah. Okay, I need a team poo flag. I think poo on that.
That was good. Yeah, I will take it. I have been silenced. Fine. Whatever. It's
I
fine.
think you just went to horror because it's your main genre.
Which
So
is fair.
you
There
see
were horror
that-
elements.
You know, but to me, I never,
And I don't read dark
Never fit.
fantasy or dark fantasy. I don't read dark romance unless you make me.
Oh, we could give you a couple.
No, I mean she has, and I'm traumatized.
I don't give recommendations. It scares people.
But no, like it wasn't bad. But that was like the last book that you recommended. I think it was like Does It Hurt? We read that
Yeah,
one.
I was just about to bring that up.
But
But
it's
pretty
that-
high.
that-
Wow.
That like for me was my experience with like a dark romance. And you're right. Like thinking about it, he did cross boundaries. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
And I think, like, I don't know. I think, like, I think you can love dark romance and horror in the same way.
Mhm.
Depending. Like for me, I know, like, the horror books that I've read that I love are because the anxious feeling they give you, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on the edge of your seat, your your chest is pumping. But you can get that in a romance too. And that's why I love dark romances. So I think, like, at some point for a dark romance to be good for me, I have to feel it. Like, you have to make me anxious. You have to put me on the edge of my seat. And not in a, like, I'm anticipating what's happening way. More of like, holy fuck, what are you about to do? Because there's no way you should be doing it.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
take it.
I feel like it's not that hot of a take, but it's a hot take for me.
That's fair. Did you guys have any highlights in this book?
Why can't I think of anything? Yes, I did. I really loved, I think I've mentioned this already, but I really, really loved their relationship. It felt very, very natural. I feel like, aside from the way they met, like, what are the odds of two serial killers showing up in the same place and like whatever, but like,
Him like saving her too. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
but that goes back to the suspension of reality thing that's necessary for me. But like, it's,
The bitch that reads fantasy books needs like
I need my magic systems to make sense, and I will die on that hill. Anyway, so like it felt very natural. Like their friendship felt like it would happen to any people who had similar hobbies. Like they bonded
Yeah.
over the shit that they have in common.
Yeah.
And their banter was so good. Like I love the way they talk to each other. And it worked for me. Like it worked having Rowan fall for her and like be there already and her having to catch up. But like once they got there, it was so good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. What do you think, Gammy? What were your highlights?
My highlights were him reserving a spot for her at the restaurant
Yeah.
the entire time.
Sweet.
Like just waiting for her to show up there. And when she finally did, like, oh my God, that was like, stop. I couldn't. That was amazing. And then when they finally have sex, dude, like, and he first sees her like completely naked, that was crazy. That was crazy. The smut in this book was really fucking good. And I usually don't like listening to smut because it usually, I'm just like, ugh. Like, there's certain words that I cannot hear out loud. Okay. So, like, I try.
For those of you watching on
Don't do
YouTube,
it.
you want to see
Do not
something
do
really
it.
funny?
Please don't fucking do it because
Pussy.
Oh my God, no. That is the worst fucking word. If you want to ruin any like romantic or like sexual encounter, say that word because
Pussy.
oh my God, I will dry up and go home, bitch. Fuck. Anyway, also in the end when they get the restaurant and they fuck in the restaurant, that was like
Just the sex. That's
the
it.
sex. The sex
It was
was
a highlight.
This
Just
might
the sex.
highlight.
They were
To be
both so
fair-
hot and they did hot things together when they took their
No,
clothes
but
off.
hold on. When they were fucking in the restaurant and like you could see into the restaurant, like if they were
Yeah.
focusing, dude, I fucking love that.
Mm-hmm. We love voyeurism.
I was about it. I was about
Dude,
it.
I do have to say this is some of the best smut I've ever read.
Yeah,
like
dude,
it was really
good.
fucking
It was
good.
really fucking good. Who? What were your highlights?
I don't remember having really that many, honestly. Like as much as I love the book as a whole, I don't remember any parts really sticking out. to me.
Semen ice cream?
I think it shocked me because I don't know like why. Like logically I know I sound wrong, but I did not think the next step from cannibalism was to eat semen. And I know that sounds like a step down.
Hey,
Like-
Pooh, why don't you go ahead and tell me the logical steps that come after cannibalism?
She's obviously okay with
I
cannibalism.
would like to
I
know.
don't understand.
I would
I'm
like to
not.
know.
I just think I'm desensitized to it. But it was like the semen.
Why are you desensitized to cannibalism?
What the fuck kind of dark romance are you reading, bitch? What is
Well,
that?
No, I know my definition is so fucked up.
I like serial killer stuff and I like serial killer shows and stuff. So
Oh my
it
God.
didn't, I've seen a lot of
Serial killing is not the same as fucking cannibalism, bitch. It's not the same as eating
Well, that's-
semen ice
yeah,
cream.
but some of them that's the point,
Oh my God.
I think I don't know, it was just odd to me. It felt odd. It didn't bother me as much as it bothered everybody else. I was more of like, what was the point of this? You already had the person. Like, what? This is not
Yeah.
that important.
Well,
Many people swallow semen all the time. It's not
true though. True though. Like,
This is
why-
from We're Whores Queen.
someone has been having a little too much fun with her own ice cream maker at home. Don't judge
Please
her.
remind me never to accept ice cream from you.
Yeah. She's like, I wasn't surprised to do that shit at home all the time.
I'm not saying that. It was just
I get my protein in,
It
bitch.
just, it just felt like a step down from eating flesh.
I guess. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel
Actually,
like you should have maybe did that first.
That's fair.
well, maybe they did, and it was just in the freezer, and that's why
Hold
David
on.
was eating it.
Hold on. Maybe semen ice cream actually tastes good. Hot take. Maybe it actually tastes good, and that's why they were like also making that.
I think it depends. Though.
And that's how
Because
Gams
they
was
said-
fired
I
from the
don't know.
podcast.
I'm bringing you all
They,
dessert
I feel
next
like
week.
I don't know. It's been a while. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I feel like they explained him eating like a gallon.
Yeah, he was eating straight out
Like,
like this.
how much fucking semen did you put?
Because
Like,
he was-
you know what I mean?
He was
It'd be
pretending to be
hard to taste
lobotomized.
If it was not a lot, if it was a whole gallon, I don't feel like you would taste it if it wasn't a lot.
She's like, are there drips of semen in here? Is it all semen? We have to stop.
I'm trying really hard not to delve into this further. So I'm going to change the subject and we're going to move to the next section. I feel like we covered the logic fairly well. Let's talk about plot, actually. Can we talk about the overarching plot? How did this work for you guys?
So you said it really well with like their natural friendship progression. I thought that was cool. I thought that it was overall the plot connected and it made sense. You had this woman who was killing people and she was trapped and was only found because she had gotten this guy first. You know what I mean? And so when Rowan showed up, like he was there to save her because that was his mark too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought it was interesting that they made this like competition. The only thing that I didn't initially understand was the brother being able to like find these hits for them to kind of like battle for. You know what I mean?
I almost feel like that was intentional though.
Yeah.
To set
It
up
made
for it,
sense
too.
for like the second book and everything.
Yeah.
But in this book, that didn't really like track well for me. I think that was like the only plot deviation that I really had. Other than that, everything made sense. Again, David, that was stupid. That was like, what is that? Like, what is,
I just felt like it was obvious.
I'm with you.
That's the only part of the plot that I was just kind of like, why did you
I was
do
like,
that?
what? Are they just going to
Because
have
for
this
me, I don't
man
know,
that they adopted?
the Lachlan thing actually didn't bother me then.
Oh, really?
Like I thought it like once I like it made sense, but I also read it after the second one was already out. So I knew there was another book.
Yeah.
So it made sense to me.
Mhm.
And then it also like I've read a lot of mafia stuff. So it made sense to me. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, his brother's mafia. Okay.
Connected.
All right.
Yeah.
Like either that or like some high government official. You know what I mean? It just it didn't really stick out to me. So I don't know. It didn't bother me that much, but the David thing was just absolute fucking trash.
Yeah.
It was so obvious.
God.
It was so obvious. It was just like
He's going to
we're
kill
gonna take
you.
him home. We're gonna take care of him. Like what the fuck? Are you stupid?
Yeah.
You cut people up.
Like
For fun, like-
that bothered me. Like I understand wanting to take care of someone who you think was a victim, but like as two serial killers, how have these bitches not been caught yet? Like they do this shit once a year and like they connect themselves to the people they kill consistently. Like whether it's through her taking the cat of that one victim or like him taking David into his restaurant. Like I feel like the dumb shit that these
No one's
people
asking
do.
questions.
Yeah, nobody
No
asks any
one's
questions.
asking
The cops in this world are very negligent.
See,
They're
I
just
didn't
not
think that was
existent.
crazy though.
What?
The cat, I definitely didn't think was crazy because some people have pets. You know, you never take them to the vet. They never bother. Like some negligent odors never bother. Some people take stray cats in. They just don't. You know, you might not have a registered animal, so that made sense. And even the David thing made sense because, she obviously like I don't know. It seemed obvious to me, but it was obvious he wasn't lobotomized. But if you thought there was no reason for this man to give anybody any reason to guess about who was in his fucking home because he's got people in there.
Yeah.
Dead people.
I have to argue with you on the cat thing, on the cat and the adopting the animal thing. So yeah, like people are negligent, they don't pay attention to their animals. Like that happens. It's a very, very unfortunate situation. But these are people. So the Orb Weaver and the Boston Butcher are both notorious serial killers. They are known to the police. They stage their fucking kills. Like these are not like they're intentionally found. Like the police or whatever, whoever does this shit, like they find these people intentionally. They knew they were killed, so obviously they're digging into their past. So why would you connect yourself to them in any way, shape, or form? That bothered me.
I have the talking dagger. So I have the talking dagger. You will listen now.
I'm gonna
So-
put that back on. I don't trust
I
you
know
with a naked blade.
distracted me. So the Boston Butcher? You mean a man who works and lives in Boston who has a restaurant? Like, doesn't that make sense? Like
Yeah.
at least like Sloane's was like harder to figure out. Like the Orb Weaver, where would that come from? But the Boston Butcher, wouldn't that be the first place you look? Like actual butcher shops or like restaurants or
I don't
something
know,
like that?
unless it was only for the competition, but it was just like why I didn't understand the Boston
he's
thing.
like he's
Because
infamous.
They both
he
were.
trapped like
Butcher,
why
Boston Butcher.
why pin him down to Boston if he
Mhm.
he kills in other places? I don't know. I felt like the name was I was a little upset about his name. Like I thought something more creative could have came. Like you go from the Orb Weaver to the Boston.
Mhm.
Really?
The Butcher.
That was really upsetting to me because I am like deeply arachnophobic, and orb weaver spiders actually live in this area, and one consistently lives right outside my back door. So this whole time I'm reading it, I'm like, fuck, orb weaver. Fuck. Her name bothered me just because I know there is an orb weaver spider that lives right outside my door.
But I fucking loved her kills.
Oh, I did too.
Like the way she made the maps and like strung up their body parts and stuff.
Yeah,
I was
that was
like,
cool.
this is fucking amazing.
Mhm.
Like
Really
this was
cool.
awesome.
It was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I don't like, and him. I don't know. Compared to her, he was so underwhelming because I don't even remember his signature thing.
She was better.
Yeah,
like she got most of the kills. She was better.
The thing like I remember about him was how stupid his name was.
Oh my god. So then I guess that can tie really well into our enjoyment. What do you think?
I really enjoyed this. I am not a big romance person, as I've said way too many times already on this podcast, but I actually really, really enjoyed this far more than I do the average romance.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was like a different. I've read a lot of rom-coms.
Fun is the right word.
Fun is a good word.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't think nothing was explained particularly gory, which is why I don't think it ever really crossed that boundary for me from like funny and comedy. So, but it was a fun read. I've read it all at once. I couldn't put it down.
That's a good
enjoyed it.
sign.
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed the audiobook. The narrators that did it, hats off to you guys. You fucking killed it. That was incredible. That was great.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Does anybody want to redo the rating after thinking about it, or are we sticking?
Nope. I'm still
I'm
5.
good with
All right.
I'm 5.
4.2 solid from the three of us.
We got it.
That's a really solid rating from this
That is
podcast.
a pretty good rating,
Yeah.
especially for a book that like Liz wouldn't normally read. Like I'm
Mhm.
surprised it got rated so high. That's good. Like a 3 is pretty good. 3.5.
All right.
Butcher and Blackbird, babe. If you haven't read it, it takes a certain type of person to read this book, so don't go recommending it to your friends. And again, you've already made it through this podcast. Don't play this in front of your family. Just don't do
Just
it.
want to like real quick, if any of our family are listening to this, I'm sorry.
I'm not. You already know, bitch. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love you, babe. Thanks for listening to me talk about the Irishman.
Oh my goodness.
Appreciate it.
Alrighty. Yeah.
So, you guys listening at home, did you read this book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you get bothered by the semen ice cream, or do you agree that people are just like eating this normally? You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody was saying anybody eats this normally, Gammy.
Well, you guys let us know what you thought. Let us know. We want to hear from you guys. So leave us some comments, send us some DMs. What did you think? And did you guys see the announcement that's coming out in April about her having a next series?
Oh yeah, on her
She's starting
Instagram,
a
she
new
just
one.
Yep,
mentioned.
she's starting a new one. So that'll be definitely interesting for us to check out in the future. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry, this one was raunchy, guys. This one was
It was raunchy.
This
It was
one was
fucking
bad.
off the rails.
this one was bad.
Some pretty crazy shit was said here today.
I have one more question for the listeners.
Yeah,
I want to know, what is your definition of dark romance?
Oh, good. That's a good question.
And who's your brother?
What?
I'm curious.
Oh,
Your brother.
yes. Who's your favorite brother? Tell us. If you have read... She's like, tell me who your brother is, bitch.
Tag your brother and say hi.
Does he have an Irish accent?
Tattoos.
Is he morally gray? And likes cannibalism? No, tell us who your favorite brother is. But don't let the second and third book sway your opinion, because we haven't reviewed those ones yet. I haven't even read the third book yet. I
Me
did the
neither.
second one, but I haven't done the third one. So just let us know, based off of their very brief introductions in the first book, who your favorite brother was.
Yeah. And I would love to know how those change as people read the series, because they definitely
Yes.
changed for me.
Yes, they did not change for me from
My
the second
female
one.
main character changed.
Hot take, I hated the second book.
You're wrong.
I said it. I
That,
said it.
that didn't surprise me at all.
Loved the second book.
It didn't surprise me at all.
Hated it. Hated
After I
it.
read it, I
Hated
was
it.
like, yeah, I'm not shocked. This is not her kind of book.
I understand, but we'll get into that book and a whole other thing. Alrighty, I think that's all we have for today.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Leave us some comments, like, comment, subscribe, and reach out to us because we love hearing from you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next
See
one.
you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Don't make me dance to a tune that you're humming. No, my body don't move like that. Don't make me pretend I don't see your shortcomings. You'll be running when I raise the black flag.
Thank you so much for sticking with us through this absolutely unhinged episode of Overbooked and Opinionated. But let's be honest, would you expect anything less from us at this point? As always, in May, we wear gray for M in honor of Brain Cancer Awareness Month. If you're able, please consider donating to the National Brain Tumor Society in support of M and everyone affected by brain tumors. You'll find the link in our show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, and even if you're still emotionally recovering, please consider leaving us a rating and a review and share the podcast with a fellow book club bestie. It seriously helps us grow this book club family more than you could ever know. You can keep up with us on Instagram. We are overbooked.opinionated. We're on TikTok at Overbooked Opinion. We are on Facebook, Overbooked and Opinionated. And we have a website, overbookedandopinionated.com, where you can find full episodes, our show notes, and some spicy little extras live there too. And now your final warning before we leave you this week. May your knives stay sharp, your trauma tastefully romanticized, and your enemies to lover tension always end in murder pacts and meaningful eye contact. See you next Thursday, book clubbers.
Sleeping